Hi, this is Frank from Engineer Your Life, and I have an interesting topic for this week. If I were to sum it up, it would be how to be the hero or how to be the creator, engineer of your own life and use what's happened to you as inspiration or as power as opposed to blaming someone and being the victim. So I haven't really went much into my backstory and I won't go too far into it, but about 2 weeks ago my mother died. And normally you'd think that would be like a tragic event and very upset. And I hadn't actually seen my mother in like 15 years or so. And when I was a child, when I was about 13, my mom threw me out of the house. It was a very odd relationship. I grew up in a dysfunctional family. My father wasn't around after age 10. My mom, after she tossed me out, I never really spoke to her much over the years since. And her death came as a slight surprise. I had recently actually looked into reaching out to her, only to find out that she actually had had a long-term illness, and that's how she ended up dying. Really, the gist of the story is, though, all these years, I didn't hold any hostility. I didn't have a blaming attitude. As I was saying, she just wasn't really a good parent. And even when I was younger, maybe not so much, but as I grew older, instead of looking as that as a reason to justify or to blame or to victimize myself, as I've seen some people do, hey, my parents weren't nice to me, that's why I'm not nice to other people, or, I can't communicate with my kids because my parents didn't communicate with me, or, other examples of people blaming other people, whether it's at work or your friends or anyone. I took the opposite approach. I actually took it as a blessing and used it the opposite way to say, hey, I had a rough childhood. Everything else should be simple. I should know better. I'm equipped to do a better job when I have a family, when I have children, and I'm prepared to do this because I know what it's like to have it done to me the opposite way. So really, the key point is that's an example of where, one could say, oh, I'm a victim, and I can't do it. I'm weak, and no one showed me. Or you could have the opposite philosophy and see it as an obstacle. I mean, maybe it would have been different had I had a different childhood and a loving mother, but I didn't, and we can't say why she did what she did, but all I know is I'm here, and I have the opportunity to be different and be, hero is kind of a cliche, but to be the hero, the creator of my own life, and not base it upon anything that happened to me when I was younger. So a good takeaway would be, is there anything in your life that happened, whether it's 5 years ago, 10 days ago, 10 years ago, when you were a child? Are you still blaming your parents, your brother, your partner, someone who wronged you, someone who did something? If so, it might be cathartic and strengthen you to say, hey, maybe even that person did something wrong. It doesn't mean you forgive them and say, oh, well, they did everything right, they get a pat on the back, but it makes sense to, at the very least, have no hostility and not victimize yourself and carry that attitude, because it gets in the way of progress. If you're so busy holding that energy against someone from the past, how could you possibly move forward and create a new identity? It's almost impossible, really, to have that much energy pushing back against something and holding it there and feeling like you're a victim and like you're powerless, when it's much more freeing to just let it be and accept it. Maybe not say it was the right thing, but to say, okay, it happened, and now I can be stronger because of it. My husband left me, or my wife, or something. Someone did something and it wasn't right, but now I can be strong. I know how to live a good life. I can do different for my family. I can share this with the world. I can go out and help people whose partners have left them, and there's so much power that can come from something like that. So that's the takeaway. Just see if there's something that you can think to and spin it into something positive. A lot of this about engineering your life is turning everything into something positive for yourself, because even if at first glance something isn't positive, you got a lot of life left to live, and you might as well make it positive and turn it that way. So that's really the key, is to not think of things so black and white, as bad and good, to see it as a journey. And my challenge for you is to think of someone or something or a situation where you could see yourself as the victim and hold that kind of energy, and try and take it the other direction and find a way to be a hero, to be a creator, and to turn that into something positive for yourself. To use that as an inspiration to be a better whatever it is you're trying to be, to define yourself more by what you can do, not by what happened to you. I'm at peace with the decision that I've made, and I will go forward with the idea of using what happened as energy and fuel, because I have a child and I'm going to raise her right, and that has been my mission, to teach her and to not focus on anything that happened to me in a negative sense, and to be a creator. So again, this is Frank from Engineer Your Life. I appreciate you taking the time to listen, and I hope this is helpful. If you have any questions or comments, or you want to get in contact, leave a comment, send a message, whatever it is, and I'll be glad to help. Thank you.